One of the most popular RVs on the road is the compact Class C on the Mercedes Sprinter chassis. And today we're really excited to announce that Newmar has now introduced the brand new Freedom Aire. We're hanging out with Ryan from Newmar. How you doing today, sir?
I'm great, Andrew. Thanks for being here.
My pleasure. And when I heard Newmar was building a Mercedes Sprinter Class C, I was super excited to see it.
Introduce this Freedom Aire. People know us, our customers know us for comfort, for quality, for craftsmanship. And some folks are just looking to downsize. They want something that's still that Newmar quality and craftsmanship, but in a smaller package. Other folks are looking to get into RVing, but maybe they're not ready to step right into a 45-footer. So we said, okay, what can we do to bring what we stand for into a smaller package to meet the needs of our customers? And so this is where we landed. We call it the Freedom Aire because it gives you the freedom to go to places that you might not be able to get into. You know, some parks have limits on lengths and things like this. This is really maneuverable. It's really easy to drive. It's easier to find storage for it and things like that. So that's why we call it the Freedom Aire. It can really go just about anywhere and do just about anything in one of these.
I think it's great. You're filling that kind of space where the compact C on the Mercedes Sprinter chassis is extremely popular, but nobody's doing it to this level of quality. What else are you doing to really separate yourself from everyone else?
So again, we basically looked at everybody that builds them and just said, okay, what are they doing and what do people like and what do they not like? So let's take the best of both. Where they don't like something, what would we do differently? And we call it Newmar DNA. Some people call it diesel DNA because we build a lot of diesels, of course. But we said, okay, how do we integrate those in here? So again, speaking of integration, you know, you have the integrated awning here on the outside. Again, that's something we wanted to do to make it a Newmar. Again, our masterpiece finish paint, we wanted to make sure it was Newmar quality and expectation. You see the grab handle and the lock bar, all that, that's straight off of our diesels. Things like that, again, we wanted it inside and outside to say Newmar.
Newmar has taken it to another level with a lot of those real high-end touches we've seen in the Class A's. And I've owned several Mercedes Sprinters, but when we took a quick look at this, you guys are doing a lot of stuff different and better than stuff we've seen in the past. What is different about the Newmar build on this coach?
So you've got our masterpiece finish paint that we're known for on the outside with all the cut and buff, you know, smooth lines and everything. On the inside, you're gonna see hardwood cabinets. You've got the dovetail drawer construction with the smooth glides and the soft close. All those things that people kind of know us for already. We wanted to bring that into this segment as well. And in order to do that, we actually chose the 4500 chassis. That gives us a little bit more flexibility, a little more carrying capacity to be able to bring those elements into this segment and keep that level of quality and craftsmanship that people are used to and not have to compromise.
Yes, sir. I think a lot of the other Class C RVs out there are going to be on the 3500 chassis, so this is even a beefier chassis. And then, of course, Newmar, you know, did all of those nice little touches. So I'm really excited to show this one off. Can we take a look at the interior?
Absolutely. Let's check it out.
Ryan, this has been your hotel room for the last few days and you're 6'5". So how has it been staying in this overall and headroom wise? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm a tall guy, but you can see I fit in here. This has a king bed, it's a Murphy bed. Honestly, it's one of the most comfortable RV beds I've ever slept on. It's great, I've got plenty of room, my feet aren't hanging off. It's been a lot of fun. We've been on the road for about a week now. At Newmar, we really make sure that we're in the product, we're using the product, and we're experiencing what our customers experience. I'm responsible for marketing and product development, so helps me do my job better if I understand what our customers are going through. And in particular, with this being a prototype, helps me kind of understand a little bit more about the segment, some of the different use cases.
I love what Newmar did with all of the lighting here. You know, all of those high-end Newmar touches that we're used to seeing in your Class A product, it looks like they've implemented in this as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, our customers come to us, they know us for quality, for comfort, for craftsmanship. And so we took all those things and we just put in a little bit of a smaller package, but you're still getting a Newmar product. You can see the hardwood cabinets. This is still hung wall construction, right? So those 16-inch studs on center, give it a pull, it'll come right open, yep. There you go.
A little bit beefier. It's got that, you know, so it's not opening while you're going down the road, but
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, high-end quality, indirect lighting above the cabinets, all those nice touches.
Yeah, and there's still some things that we're dialing in. This is a prototype, so we've got some things that we're going to be tweaking. That fridge will be a little bit more recessed when we get into production.
Yeah, so we have an extra sleeping up here, really versatile use of the space. It's a pretty good sized bed there, or we can flip that up and then now you have easy ingress, egress into your cockpit area.
Yep, absolutely. You can sleep 2 kids up here, no problem. We've got actually the skylight, and that shade will pull up so you can let some light in. There's venting, there's power, some storage up there. And then, you know, when it's nighttime, you want a little privacy, you just pull this down. Now, the way I've been using it, because I'm out here by myself this week, this is storage.
Yes,
so
sir.
I just throw stuff up there. I pull this down, out of sight, out of mind. So it works great for that as well.
Yeah, definitely. And then, you know, the creature comforts, if you do have people staying, outlets, USB ports, cup holders, really nice lighting up here. Is this a power shade?
It is, yep.
Oh, that's the power shade for the
Yep.
up front there. And then,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
if you want to bring in that natural light, really nice feature there. Will both of these captain's chairs spin around here?
Yeah, they do. We kind of, because we're in a display right now, we kind of left this one forward facing so people can get a feel. But this one, we wanted people to see how that would work if you're kind of facing into the house. And like I said, this is a prototype, so all of the stuff down on the bottom on the base that you can see right now, we'll have a skirt around that, so you won't be able to see it when we actually get into production. This is a real Italian leather, so we're actually really happy with this. It's kind of a new pattern. You can see some texture in this. So all of the furniture throughout this is going to have this Italian leather. Really comfortable, really durable. So we rewrap the seats to get that as well.
Yeah, really nice look. And then it's got a little kind of a booster here so that when you do spin it around, becomes part of the living space here, and just a lot of room. You know, we're two pretty big guys here, and I'm not feeling claustrophobic at all. Now, what's going on with these recliners up here? They have a cool look to them.
Yeah, actually, we partnered with our furniture manufacturers and worked with them to get this design. So you've got power footrest, power headrest as well. The RV furniture doesn't always really fit me or a guy like you, but I find this to be really comfortable. You know, your head's not rolling back when you put it back. You've got the headrest there. And if you pull up that armrest on your left side, one of the things that we found in this segment, there you go, yep, and just flip that around. One of the things we found in this segment is storage is limited when you're in something that's this size. So we said, why don't we give folks a way to have a TV tray? I've been sitting in there with my laptop working this week, and then you just tuck it back into the armrest. So we borrowed that idea from the airlines, obviously.
Yeah.
Works really well in an RV.
Well, and you got cup holders right here, and then if you do have the bed down and you don't want to, you know, you have your dining table over there, but when the bed's in the down position, if you just want to have a quick meal or have somewhere to have a workspace, nice versility for sure.
Yep, absolutely.
Then I can adjust the back as well. So
Yes,
if
sir.
I want to sit in a more
Yeah, so if you recline it all the way and then you're staring at the ceiling but you're trying to watch TV, you pop that headrest up a little bit, and now it's giving you that support, so you know you're relaxed but you can still see whatever's going on.
I see. So yeah, you're a little more upright. Lots of different, you know, adjustments to make sure you get comfortable depending on what positioning you want. And again, nice lighting here. And I like the way that the cabinets are tucked back a little bit. So I didn't feel like there was any cabinets over my head, but they're, you know, back here behind the recliners, still giving you some storage up top there. And I can feel that Newmar quality even when I'm not looking at it, opening and closing those doors.
Yeah, we're trying to find the, you know, how do we maximize the space to give you as much storage capacity as possible, but also keep that kind of open feeling. So that's exactly what we're going for. This is an industry first, so you've got the Murphy bed in combination with the dinette. This will obviously fold down into a king-size bed. This table folds up, and then the bed comes right down. Again, this is a prototype, but these are the legs, so these fold out. But in our production model, these will actually light up. So this part right here will almost be like a wall sconce,
Nice.
little extra accent lighting. But yeah, when you're ready to put the bed down, you just pull these up, and then you hit the button, and the bed comes right down. You're good to go.
So all by pressing a button. I know a lot of other Murphy beds, you have to manually, you know, bring them out, but that's just makes life much easier.
Yeah, it's really simple. It doesn't take long at all. Like I said, I'm a big guy. I fit on this just fine. Plenty of room, and it's super comfortable. You've got a little bit of storage shelf, so when you're in bed at night, you can set, you know, your phone or whatever right up there, a book. And there's actually an outlet right in here as well. So you've got your regular 110 as well as USB A and C. Your storage up ahead, up above, just like we had over here above the theater seats as well.
Now, once the Murphy bed goes up, it's a little more difficult to access that storage, I believe.
Yeah, so you're going to want to put the things up there that you aren't not going to use very often, or maybe just at night. We had the space, we said we're going to use it. We don't want to leave anything to waste. So
Absolutely. Well, I've said it several times, I think a Murphy bed is the best RV floor plan just because you have such a versatile space. And then when you woke up this morning, you slept in this bed, you just got up, press a button, tuck it away. You don't have to mess with making your bed, much easier. And then you have dual use of that same space, which in an RV, space is priceless. So
yeah, that's exactly what we were going for, is kind of that modular multi-use aspect there, so that you can do multiple things with the same space.
now, can you put out the bed once the slide room comes in?
Nope, so that doesn't fit. We're going to increase the space so you have a better access to the bathroom once we're in production. It won't be enough room to be able to get the bed all the way down unless the slide is out.
Okay, and are you going to have some other floor plans? Do you know what other floor plans are going to be in the Freedom Aire?
We're going to start with this floor plan. There is some optional seating that you can get. Actually, this is the optional. So the standard will actually be a couch right here in front of the Murphy bed. Like I said, we're really excited about this industry first with the multiple uses in the king size bed and the dinette with that fold down table.
Yeah, can we put this back up? Much easier than making the bed.
That's right.
And then you just
And then
slap those down.
Yep, just pop these down and you're good to go. You've actually got storage under these seats as well. So if you lift this up, you've got storage under there.
And just for size, different booths have different comfort. But this is a huge table too. It's a very large, long table. Like I could reach all the way out, and I'm not even halfway to the table.
Yeah, that's what we were going for. We've got long legs, but we're not interfering with each other. You could both have a laptop up here, plenty of room if two people are working across from each other. We're happy to have this. You kind of have the wood accent here. You see that extra counter space right there above the drawers. These will all be matching when we're in production. So a nice little wood accent that we have as well.
Like that. And then there's so many textures that, when I sat down close here, I want to touch. It's like a leather stitch. It almost reminds me of the King Air seats a little bit. You know what this pattern is here?
Yeah, I don't know what we call the pattern, but we wanted to dress this up. You put the Murphy bed up and you don't want to feel like you're sitting next to a bed. And so we put this feature on the side here.
And this is like a solid wood too.
That's part of what you get with Amish built, that craftsmanship that Newmar's known for, is you're going to have that solid wood construction. This is a great way to actually visualize it with this on the table. So again, it's a nice accent. We don't have that in our other products right now, but we've gotten a lot of positive feedback from our customers this week. They really like being able to see the wood.
Definitely a really nice feel to it, almost a modern farmhouse kind of a feel. Do you know if there was a particular design inspiration?
We wanted to go with something that felt a little more modern. The design on the cabinets is a micro rail, and it just kind of fits the space a little bit better. This is something that, again, has been very well received. You've got the two-tone cabinetry, so it's got that residential feel that you might have in a home.
Now, this is a huge galley for a Class C on a Sprinter chassis. Was that kind of what they were going for, I'm assuming?
Yeah, we were looking at the space, and what we were able to do with the modularity over here with the bed and the dinette really allowed us to give you a little bit more room over here for the galley. So obviously you've got plenty of counter space. I think this is probably the most counter space I've seen in this segment. Got the storage up here, a lot of storage on the bottom as well. This actually pulls out. You can access some of your breakers and your fuses back here, and then the TV adjusts obviously depending on where you're sitting, so you can get that viewing angle you're looking for. And then this is the extra counter space. Nice. So you can use this if you're prepping something for dinner. You've got that option as well.
And then I noticed there's a Bose soundbar mounted to this TV, and that's swiveled with the TV, so the audio is coming in clean wherever you're pointing the TV at.
Yeah, exactly. That'll follow the picture, and then you can Bluetooth right to the soundbar as well if you just want to listen to music, of course.
It's a much smaller microwave than what we see in a lot of the Class A product.
It is a little smaller. You still got enough room in there, I think, to do some of the essentials. This is a convect bake.
An air fryer too?
And an air fryer. So, you can get a feel for the capacity in there. You're probably not going to cook your Thanksgiving turkey in there, but I think you can do what you need to on the road.
Now, we mentioned this has a lithium package. Can you tell me more about the lithium package?
Yeah, we have a lithionics system in this. It's 960 amp hours. When I took off, I actually pulled this unit right out of production. Didn't realize I didn't have the power cord with me. First 3.5 days on the trip, I didn't have anything to plug in, and so it wasn't an issue. I was a little nervous at first, but with 960 amp hours is actually no issue, because the other thing we have on this is a secondary alternator on the engine. It was charging while I was driving, but you can also basically use the chassis engine as your generator, and at idle, it will also recharge the batteries. It left Thursday, got in Sunday night before I got a power cable. Been, 3.5 days, and I was still like, 80-something% battery because I'd been driving enough that it was not an issue at all.
Yeah, just incredible how well these lithium systems work. I know it took a little while for the RV industry to take on the lithium technology, but I've used it in a few units now, and to be able to have power, run your AC, not have to deal with a generator, the noise, the fumes from a generator, I think it's a no-brainer. I think it should be standard. Now, is that a standard feature, or is that an option?
So we've got a few different lithium options that people can select from. This is the largest package that we offer at 960 amps. And then we've got some solar options as well. So on this one, we have two 120 watt on the roof.
Nice. And yeah, always really nice to be able to charge it without having to move. If you're set up and you have the slide room out and your batteries are getting low, just turn that engine on and that's basically your generator.
Yep, absolutely. That's exactly how it works.
Yeah.
You got it. What we get in this 4-cylinder is actually a turbo diesel. It's high output, over 200 horsepower. Now, if you're used to talking the Class A's, right, that Newmar usually has, it's 400, 500, 600 horsepower. 200 doesn't sound like a lot, but when you then look at the weight of this thing versus some of those big rigs, you actually have a really good power to weight ratio. Like I said, I had no issues coming through the mountains here, keeping up with Casey and his 605. It drives great, definitely has the power that you need. Even when it's loaded up, we had several of us in here to go on a kayaking excursion. No problem getting there, even with all that added weight.
Now I see we have a vent with a fan here, but what else is going on in the galley area here? It looks like we've got quite a bit of storage here.
Yeah, we've got several drawers. You got a lot of space under the sink as well, for added storage. These are relatively deep. I've got a bunch of stuff in there right now, but you can see
you're using this silverware drawer pretty hard here. It looks like you've got some tools and stuff. Ryan is living in this coach right now, so it is being used, but I mean, super high end to have the dovetail construction with silverware dividers in your drawer. That's just something that we don't see.
Multiplex over here, you'll see this in the video with Casey as well, but this is new for this year, for model year 26. So anything that is an Aire will have this type of UI. And so we partnered with ATC. We actually worked on the UX, the UI for this to put together something that we think is really going to help our customers. You kind of have everything that you need right here on the homepage. First glance, whatever questions you may have, what are my tanks at? What's my power situation right now? It's all going to be right there on that home screen. And then you can pretty quickly and easily navigate to these different areas of the coach to do whatever it is that you need to do. So if you want to, get into your climate, change your settings in here, you can see what's set up under status, what's going to shed in what order. You've got a fan in the kitchen, you've got a fan in the bathroom as well. And then these windows, those are dual pane insulated. Those will open up and you can have those vents running and really pull in a lot of fresh air. Which is great. You can come in here, look at your power systems, check on if you've got your external solar plugged in. You've also got the exterior, so you can lock all of the cargo doors, operate your slide, the lighting, and then your interior lighting control as well. And so, for this, it's nice. We have this right here by the door. You've got your battery disconnect as well as your all on, all off. So if you're headed out and you don't want to, deal with turning certain lights on and off, you just hit this all off, everything will shut off. You can be on your way. So if you want to, dial things in, you've got dimmer control on here, so you can kind of set the mood however you like. And when I'm in here working, I like to have the lights on by where I'm sitting, but then the rest is just accent lighting, just kind of a calm place to work and get some things done.
Yes, I really like having that second hardwired switch, just if you don't want to mess with the panel. But the first time I saw that panel, I've touched a lot of motorhomes and a lot of different styles of touch panels, and that was just super easy to read, very user-friendly. I can tell there was a lot of thought put into it.
You're right on the kind of the intuitiveness of this. We got to that point by talking to a lot of our customers. We did several interviews to understand, hey, when you're out using the product, what questions do you have? When you go to the panel, what are you looking for? What are you doing? What are the things that you're most frequently, accessing? And then we pulled all of those things to the home screen. So you don't have to, dive deep into menus to get to what you want. A lot of it's just right there. And then the nice thing is, you've got these 5-inch panels throughout the coach as well. That has all the same functionality as the 10-inch panel, just in a little bit of a smaller form factor. And then that actually mirrors what we have on our app. So put Starlink on a coach like this, and then you're completely connected. You can access your coach actually remotely from anywhere with that Wi-Fi. And the 5-inch screen is actually going to be mirrored on your phone on the app. So if you're, camping somewhere, you go on some trek or hike or whatever, and you want to be able to keep an eye on what's happening back at the coach, you can do that.
Really nice if you've got pets or just want to keep an eye on the climate. Heading towards the rear of the coach here, what's all going on back here?
Yeah, so you've got plenty of storage in the refrigerator here, some additional storage up top here. You can keep plenty down in this drawer. This is nice and deep, and that comes out quite a ways. All of these are ball bearing glides on the drawers. They have a soft close, so you've got that premium feel to it. This is the pantry. These are the locking that slide all the way out so you can access what you need, and then they lock in place when you push it back in, so nothing's coming out as you're going down the road. Just notice the pocket door. We integrated some design in here just to dress that up. It's almost like an accent wall when it's in the open position. And then we move back into the bathroom. You've got a wardrobe right here. As I've mentioned, I'm staying in here, so you've got all my stuff hanging. There's shelving back there as well, so for additional storage. And then several drawers here, storage under the sink. And then we've got a 5-inch panel in here just to, have another way to access and control what you want in the bathroom. And then you move into your toilet and then the shower.
So this exterior is beautiful. You mentioned earlier this has the masterpiece finish. I'm noticing a different style of windows, the awnings. I've got a lot of questions I want to ask you about this, but what all is going on with the exterior here?
Yeah, so like you said, we've got our masterpiece finish. You've got several different color options that you can choose that we've offered. And then of course, people can always special in their own colors if they want, just like any other Newmar. We've got this entertainment in the exterior sidewall, just like we do in our A's. This pulls out and adjusts, to get the right viewing angle. It's got the Bose sound bar underneath, just like on the inside, that's gonna follow the picture.
Yeah, beautiful exterior color combination with the white and blue, just a very fresh design. And above this entertainment area, I'm noticing a different style of window, totally different than what we've seen on any other Mercedes Sprinter RVs. What type of windows are you using?
Yeah, so we want to make sure that people can control the climate inside. So these are actually dual pane insulated windows. They do open, so they'll actually tilt out. So you can get airflow. You've got another big window on the other side of the coach. You turn on those fantastic fans and you can get some nice cross breeze and airflow going into the coach. But if you want to keep it warm inside, it's going to stay warm. If you want to keep it cool, it's going to stay cool.
Yeah, that dual pane is definitely going to help keeping that climate stable. Yeah, now we have a huge awning here. Is this the same style of awning that you're using on your Class A product?
Yeah, it is. It comes right out as an integrated awning, so it comes straight out from the top. Got the LEDs. Really nice Girard awning on this one.
And as we come around the rear of the coach, the body lines, it's just a very stout, really attractive body. Was this all designed by Newmar to kind of follow that same style as their other coaches?
Yeah, you see some of the other cues. This is similar to what you see in a rear cap on some of our Class A diesels. The front cap, our design team actually, our industrial designers tried to follow the same kind of radius that you see on that Mercedes Benz hood, so that looks like they belong together. So that overhead bunk area was a really nice contoured, tapered finish that looks really good on a Mercedes Benz Sprinter chassis.
Yeah, the front of the coach, the back of the coach, I mean, these tail lights just have a really good look. Definitely a very identifiable design that looks different than other Class C motorhomes on the Sprinter chassis. Now I see a tow hitch here. Do you know what the tow rating is?
Yes, sir. So we got a 5,000-pound hitch on the back, so you can tow your tow vehicle with you when you're out on the road.
Yes, sir. Freedom Aire, what a great name. I'm sure some patriots out there can really appreciate that name.
Absolutely. We're proud of that as well. And there's a little bit of a story behind it. Last summer, on our way out to the Country Club Rally, it was in Pueblo, Colorado last year. We took the scenic route. Took about 10 days to get there, driving from Napanee. One of the places that we stopped along the way, we're in South Dakota, around that Mount Rushmore area. There's Needles Highway, right?
Yes, sir.
Where they're literally cutting the road, through rock. Those rigs that we have aren't going to get down that road. It's a non-RV option. In something like this, you might not get through all of them, but you can get through a lot more than you could with one of our Class A diesels. So there's freedom in being able to move about the country as well.
I can appreciate that. Now, storage outside here.
We can take a look at the baggage doors. We've got plenty of storage in here, so we'll just start right here in the back. Got a nice compartment under there. This is some additional space that we were able to find. Throw some things in there above the belt line. And then if we move down here, you can see the lithium system in here with those 960 amp hours.
Yeah, with a 3,000 watt inverter. Yeah, that's a big boy lithium system. Not seeing a lot of Mercedes Sprinters with that much equipment in them.
Yeah, I've been in this for a week now. It's got a 15K AC unit on the roof. Didn't have my power cord for the first 3.5 days. This handled it no problem. I was nice and cool inside. Did a trip in the middle there, kind of recharge the batteries, but this can handle whatever you throw at it.
I don't know of many this size that are running a 15,000 BTU AC unit as well. I bet you that keeps it cold on a hot day.
Absolutely, and this is Newmar construction as well. So it's hung wall construction, 16-inch studs on center. We have R19 batten insulation that goes in here. It doesn't have to work very hard. It kicks on every once in a while, but it's gonna stay cool with that insulation, the dual pane windows. This thing is solid. So some additional storage down here. You've got the kind of French door style opening so you can access this. And if you look down, that's actually passed through over to the other side. You have a bay just like this on the other side. You know, if you've got something long, a broom, fishing poles, whatever that you want to stick across there, that's going to fit up there really well. Then right below this, we've got our wet bay, very similar to what you see in our Class A's, right? It's the same kind of setup. You've got your hookup, your drains, your whole house water filter, everything is right in here.
And does this have a macerator system or gravity dump?
This is a gravity dump. Then just a little bit more storage right down here. So this is exactly what we saw on the other side. You've got the French door style opening, big storage bay right there, and then the pass-through storage to the other side that we saw.
Nice. And well lit as well, like we see in your Class A products.
Yep, absolutely. Got to be able to see what's going on when you come out here at night to grab something. Right up here in this bay is actually where the Oasis, the hydronic heat, will go. So your hot water and your heat for your coach.
Well, Ryan, I'm really excited about Newmar pushing this compact Class C market to the next level with the new Freedom Aire. We really appreciate the opportunity to see this rig.